Search for alleged war criminals has netted another suspect, thanks to a Sun News viewer. Abraham Bayavuge was nabbed by police last night in Ottawa on his birthday. This 49-year-old is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and this fifth arrest comes less than a week after the feds released a list of 30 wanted men. Ottawa says the tipster was watching Sun News when he recognized one of the men in the headshots. Today, Immigration Minister Jason Kenney spoke about the status of the 30 people on the list.
I have no doubt that all 30 individuals on this list would contend that they're completely innocent of any such crimes, but the reality is that every single one of these individuals has had the benefit of due process in Canada's extraordinarily fair legal system. Every single one of these individuals was found by a Canadian tribunal that there is reason to believe that they were implicated in such serious crimes as war crimes and crimes against humanity.
But at least one man on the list is angry enough with the government that he's threatening to sue. 76-year-old Afghan national Abdul Khalil has hired a lawyer who is prepared to bring a defamation lawsuit unless the government removes Khalil from the list. And that lawyer, Anser Farooq, joins us now on the phone from just outside Toronto. Mr. Farooq, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good
You've said that your client, Abdul Khalil, doesn't belong on this list of war crimes suspects, and fair enough. Why doesn't he just come forward to clear his name?
Well, the due process that we heard about entails that if there is something that the government believes is improperly done by him, then have them provide the evidence that they claim they have, and we move forward from there. As far as we're concerned at this point, the government knows information that they have not yet divulged, particularly as it relates to my client. And it's being disingenuous with the public as it relates to my client issues.
Even with that, sir, is Mr. Khalil subject to a deportation order? And if so, why is he still in Canada?
Well, I'm not going to make comment on whereabouts of Mr. Khalil. With respect to the deportation order, I expect one is there. We have simply the government at this point to rely upon when they say that deportation orders have been made. Certainly I have not seen those materials as of yet, but if we are not given the appropriate response that we have asked for in time, we will move this process along to seek the necessary documentation to verify what the government is in fact saying about my client. What I can say is that, as I said earlier, the government is being disingenuous when it relates to my client. They ought to have in their possession a lot more knowledge that is being communicated to the public.
Yeah, well, they haven't spoken about specific charges that he may face, but even if he does face charges, he doesn't face charges here, he faces charges abroad.
Well, they haven't said, in fact, what, if any, charges he's going to face. Our contention is if you're going to go around labeling people as war criminals, then you better be able to back that up. This is not a title that one can live with, especially if you have family members who happen to be in Canada and who have to then face this on a day-to-day basis from members of the public.
Now, your client is 76 years old. He's from Afghanistan. What do you know about his background in Afghanistan in, say, the late 70s or early 80s?
Well, I'm not going to go into that at this point. What I can say is that, given the government's contention, they are the ones that ought to bring forward this evidence. And you've seen some news articles where they talk about privacy concerns because of which they will not divulge this information. Well, my client is prepared to waive any privacy concerns. So let's not hide behind privacy concerns. This has nothing to do with privacy. You've exposed this gentleman to, and his family, in fact. So now I'll come forward and provide this information. If the government doesn't come back with it, then we will take the necessary steps to force them to provide this information.
But what can you tell us about his background? I mean, was he a farmer? Was he in government? What was he doing in Afghanistan before coming to Canada?
Well, he is from Afghanistan, so at this point, I don't want to get into those issues. I want to see if the government, our position quite simply is this: we've issued at this point a defamation notice, And if the government then goes ahead and removes him from this list or offers an explanation to us and not just labels him with all the rest, then we will move back. But subject to what they do, we will go from there. So they need to deal with this, and they need to provide us an explanation of why he's been joined with these other 29 of whom.
All right, Mr. Farooq, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye now.